We live in a dynamic world, and technology is not an exception. So let's start by taking a look at the past.
Analog systems have been present in our daily lives for thousands of years. Some as primitive as the telegraph, and others more sophisticated as the analog TV. All this started to change with the invention of the transistor in 1948. However, it wasn't until the 1980s when the real transition started. The digital revolution was here. Computers development, digital cameras, personal music players, 3G phones or internet are a few examples of what this revolution brought to our houses. As all revolutions, there were positive and negative effects. On one side, this revolution meant an easier worldwide communication. In addition, it had a great economic impact, changing the way enterprises interacted with their customers. On the other side, a consequence of being a digital society is that our own lives are published online, available to everyone. An example of this is the CIA's Information Awareness Office, which monitors everyone's moves. But which are the real differences between these two technologies? Let's make way for our reporter to explain it to us.
Breaking news! Are digital systems really better than analog systems? Let us look at the advantages and disadvantages of both digital and analog systems. Analog systems, a thing of the past. Analog products are still being produced due to the cost savings attributed to both the producer and the consumer. Also, devices made with analog systems are often made to be more durable. Have a power outage? No fear! Landline phones with cords can function even in a power outage, unlike their digital cordless counterparts. Like all devices, analog systems also have disadvantages. The primary disadvantage of analog signaling is that it has random disturbances or unwanted variation, also known as noise. The effects of random noise can make signal loss and distortion impossible to recover. Let us look at the advantages and disadvantages of digital systems before you make your decision. One of the main advantages is clarity. A more precise representation of a signal can be attained by using binary digits to represent it. Therefore, it is possible to have an entirely error-free digital communication. This means distortion-free conversations and clearer TV pictures. Another advantage of digital systems is that digital data is compressible. Compression reduces the amount of bandwidth space needed to send information. This makes it possible to send much more information and results in, for example, digital television signals offering more room on the airwave spectrum for more television channels. Despite the numerous advantages, there are some disadvantages as well. For example, quantization errors may occur. Also, digital circuits use more energy than analog circuits to complete the same task. Therefore, some of the components may heat up. Finally, the cost of digital systems may be more expensive than analog, but it depends on what you're working with. Now that you have discovered the advantages and disadvantages of both, what will you do? Let us look at the real-life applications used today. One of the most current applications is the use of digital TV instead of analog TV. A simple way of explaining how an analog TV works would be that this device is composed of horizontal lines. Each line receives a different brightness, which is a continuing value that is converted in an electrical signal proportional to that brightness. Black would be the color for the highest voltage and white for the lowest. In the case of digital TV, in black and white, a punctual number of plots are encoded and according with their green, red, or blue levels, which can be between 0 and 255, the system is able to distinguish between the black state and the white state. A curious application of the digital technologies is the digital fingerprint reader. This appliance reads our fingerprint, and depending on the contact, it translates this information in a binary code which represents our identity. This technology is closer than we think. For example, TechNoon has used this kind of system to develop the fingerprint reader in the university entryway.
The agricultural revolution led to agricultural cities in the ancient world. Then, the Industrial Revolution led industrial cities such as New York City. So we can think that digital revolution may lead to digital cities. Can you imagine a world full of digital cities?
What conclusions can we draw?